So, here's a game I went into with no idea what it was really about, and, well, after finishing it, I honestly still have no idea what it's really about. It's a game I remember seeing as a kid and really wanting it. It's called Ed, Edd and Eddy, the Mis-Edventures. Ain't that a piece of creative writing? I don't have to explain what Ed, Edd and Eddy is, do I? Well, maybe. It was a popular cartoon that was on Cartoon Network starting in '99 and lasting 5 to 6 glorious seasons and an epic send-off of a movie. It stars 3 kids with names involving Ed attempting to scam the other neighborhood kids out of their quarters in order to buy some ginormous jawbreakers. One's a lovable dumb brute, one's a smart worrywart, and the other's the greedy mastermind. It has sporadic yet chill animation with crazy violent slapstick and entertaining character dynamics. I think the best way to summarize this show is, well, by saying the Three Stooges mixed with Tom and Jerry. Great shows merged into a very great show. This was one of my favorite childhood cartoons growing up, next to SpongeBob and Code Lyoko. Well, I saw advertisements back in the day for this thing around 04, 05, and needless to say, I really wanted it, but I never ended up getting a copy. Ever since then, it blipped in and out of my conscience a handful of times, and, well, until recently when I decided to get off eBay for around $10 with buying a bunch of other GameCube games. Alright, so here it is, and ugh! It's got a nasty brown stain on it, what the heck? I accidentally touched it and it's sticky, ugh, freaking gross, jeez. With the exception of a handful of promotional screenshots in an old commercial, I knew nothing. I haven't even watched any videos or reviews on this game, which I'm surprised I didn't do. Well, except maybe the CJR Undertow one from like maybe 7 years ago, wow. Well, I was going into this game almost entirely blind, which I was excited for. I've always wanted this game and I was going to get a fresh experience with no initial bias, which I think is really cool. But then again, as I said in another video of mine whilst regarding the importance of game reviews, although there is nothing quite like going into a game blind, it leaves you open to being blindsided by garbage. And guys, I got blindsided by garbage. Or at least a dog's poop stain. The game starts with the Eds conspiring one of their quick buck schemes involving stealing ice for crappy snow cones, and you're thrusted right into gameplay. This is a tutorial level, but it's too roughly done in my opinion. Ugh, what is with these old games and having the camera inverted? At least I can change it. Wait, no I can't. That's just for the up and down looking, what the heck? You play as the titular trio in a Sonic Heroes kind of way, having to switch in between them. Each has an attack, a jump, 1 or 2 special moves / abilities, and a team formation thing going on. Their jumping is all the same pathetic hop, but their attacks are actually slightly different. Eddy has a yo-yo for a kind of disjointed ranged attack. He can throw out an infinite supply of stink bombs to clear and stun anything and everything. He can summon the Tower of Ed, which can walk along narrow gaps, pick up out of reach objects, and make the ultimate T-pose of dominance.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Double D has the slowest based attack, but he has a slingshot of which you can sluggishly aim in first person, and he can also fix machinery, like causing gears to turn themselves. He can do this trampoline jumping thing, which is one of the worst and buggiest things I have ever tried to control. Like, come on, get up there, get in there. What is this stuttering jump animation? And then there's Ed, which I think he is the most fun to use. He has the most satisfying attack to spam. He can dig in the sandboxes for goodies, pick up and throw objects, and make a mad dash that destroys everything in his path, which is really cathartic and great for movement. A couple of complaints about the controls real quick, which I'm pretty sure aren't in the other versions of the games, but the team attack and character swap buttons are on the shoulder buttons, and, you know, with character swap, you can only do it in like a certain order, and also, for some reason, I'm still having trouble, like whenever I come across where I have to either character swap or do the formation, I often still get them mixed up. It's like my brain farts whenever I try to decide which one to use. Anyways, after being taught all this, yet still kind of fumbling with the controls and generally having no idea what's going on, you complete the level and 11% of the game completed. It's only been like 5, maybe 10 minutes? Anyways, you exit the level unthematically and enter the cul-de-sac, the game's hub world. And the second stage is a frickin' sewer level. Grand. And it has nothing to do with the last level. We don't even get to see the results or aftermath of that scam. Like, what the heck? This one's about the Eds trying to sneak into a birthday party they're explicitly not invited to, which would actually be a good plot for an actual episode. Then it hit me. This game doesn't have a set story. It's an anthology. That's an unorthodox choice. Can't really think of many games like that. Payday, maybe? Pac-Man 2, that horde thing? Some puzzle games, I assume? Even those with seemingly disconnected storylines usually tie them all up in the end. Interesting. I thought this game would be about the Eds hoarding money for a Jawbreaker sale, or them committing a scam gone wrong that they'd have to fix or atone. Each level is called a scam, even though only a couple are actual scams. And there's only 6 levels, ranging from 10 to 30 minutes each. Don't worry, there are a couple bonus levels, but pretty much the whole gist of this game is to go level to level, completing objectives, mostly just moving forwards, while collecting Jawbreakers that are off to the side. If you come across an obstacle that's not obvious, just switch through the characters and try everything at your disposal until something works, or just look around for a piece of machinery to fix or a blinking target marker to shoot at. It's not a complicated game. Just do the required things and avoid being officially labeled a dork.
Holy moly, Black! Look at Eddie's face!
I like how each level has its own title card, like in the show. Like, that's an awesome touch, but I hate how low res they are and how the loading screen has them obscured to unveil to show how the progress of the loading. Like, why did you guys have to do that? Just have a regular progress bar at the bottom. Sometimes you encounter the Canker sisters. They're pretty much the main antagonists of a game that show up every once in a while to bully the Eds. They act like either a stage hazard or pretty much fill the role of boss fights. Hey, what's this on my script? Oh no. This is why I play video games. Bruh, there is so much terrorizing animals in this game, like just straight up animal abuse, like what the heck? It just bully all the woodland and domesticated creatures, like, then again, whatever enemies could they have realistically used? But yeah, screw you, squirrels! Oh, they're fighting back! They're actually fighting back! Hey, Twitter! I just beat a dog to death with a ruler in the Ed, and Eddy video game. Hey, bird, I see you're flying in a predictable pattern. Kabam! Health everywhere. What even are these things you pick up for health? Well, that's super gamey, being like glowing orbs that do that. Hey, remember the episode where Ed head slams alligators in the sewers? No? Just me? The worst encounter are any of those enemies that latch onto you. They're the worst. You have to like jump and
Get off me, wow!
Well, after that, where's level 3? Oh, here it is.
So, Sockhead, where are we gonna get enough ice to make snow cones?
Wait a minute. It's the first level again. Could y'all really not label these? These pop-up menus feel very cheap amongst everything else. Speaking of which, if there's anything good, it's the presentation. The environments are nice and detailed, and I think the graphics captures the show's visuals and aesthetics really well. The character models are nice and bouncy, but they're either hit or miss. 2 of them are infamously bad. You can use your eyeballs to decipher Permagrin and Shovelhead. I personally think this game should have used more sound effects, especially for the attacks. I mean, the show was well known for the humongous sound library they'd exhaust every episode. Ed's headbanging is unironically my favorite part of his game, but it should be more like, you know, when Mario's hammering in Paper Mario TTYD after equipping every single sound mod badge. Honestly, the sound design of his game is alright, and it's still really good and varied, but I just think they could have used more wacky sound effects. Also, the soundtrack. It's good, but it's literally just the show's OST. I'm not really sure how to feel about that, but you can't say it's not appropriate. Well, except for a broken music loop in the Urban Ranger course level. This game's structure is weird. It follows the standard collectathon platformer format, but, well, let's just say that this game is as much of a collectathon or a platformer as Fallout 4 is an RPG. I mean that in that it is, but like, not as much as it should be. There's no real platforming, which, for this show, I think is fine. The exploration, obstacles, and puzzles you have to do a good job making up for that. Anyways, you do these things to collect the 40 jawbreakers, of which you can find hidden, do said required puzzles, or, oh, excuse me, 25 to collect. With the rest you have to buy out of this giant gumball machine, where the price almost doubles every time.
This is extortion.
Break every box you see for all the cash you can scrounge, because this thing almost made me not want to 100% the game. But since I collected a buttload going back through a couple of levels in order to get a few missed items, I saw the end in sight, so this thing just bogs the whole thing down in my opinion. Anyways, as hinted earlier, this game's short. Literally around 3 to 4 hours to beat, depending on how you play. And yes, that is factoring in 100%ing this game. I tried to do everything I could in the game, like the 2 secret levels you can get for completing costume sets. There you can fight the real final boss. Let's see, any other collectibles? Oh yeah, you can get these Easter egg cheats for doing this. To poor innocent chickens you gotta chase down. Big head mode.
Bruh.
I did not know I needed this. This game's ridiculous, and I love it for that, but it's also ridiculously underwhelming, and that makes me sad for anyone that bought it at full price. This game screams lost potential. Like, look at this room. This highly detailed room of all sorts of stuff that you're literally only supposed to walk through in a couple of seconds. This feels like the base for something more. Like, it needs more levels, game mechanics, something. It's like they set up a competent foundation for a great game, but had to rush the actual content. Maybe with extra time and a bigger budget, this game could have been fully realized into something superb, but it's not, and that makes me disappointed. A likely couldn't afford another year because the show was heading towards the end of its run, so, oh well. There's a GBA port. It's a thing. There's also another GBA game, so yeah, they're things. I'm not going to go any further. This was supposed to be a short 5-minute video, but I already written over like 3.5 pages of script, so I just want to stop. It's not a bad game, pretty fun in some places, but it's barely anything at all. I'm sorry, but yeah, I don't recommend it. Except maybe for fans, as long as they don't have their hopes up. Maybe if you're a hardcore fan, it'll be worth it to at least get it for your collection, but I think it belongs in the $5 bin for the rest of eternity. Eternity. I guess you could say this game was a mistake. I mistake it for a good game. Be sure that you're subscribed, Ed. I feel like I'm breaking my jaw with these puns. That last one. Anyone? Anyone? Breaking my jaw? Jaw break? Yeah, I'll stop. I'll stop. I'm TreyGamr58. See ya.